What is up, SVSers? It's Nick here behind the camera. And first of all, I have to say sorry about the unforeseen circumstances last week. We did have to cancel last second. We had a little medical issue, but we're happy to be broadcasting live from Bjorn's. And we have what I think would be termed a special guest who's been out of MIA for the last couple weeks here. Let's welcome the Larry back to the broadcast.
It's
Larry,
good to be back, man.
It is good
here in San Antonio
to see you, and you are looking good too, which is nice.
Yeah, so I was out. Gary kind of alluded to it. Got a little ill and took longer to recover than anticipated because I'm getting old. But now I'm back, and we are full-fledged, ready to go hang with all of you guys here at Bjorn's in San Antonio, and all of you that are watching around the World Wide Web. So I think we're going to do a tour. I see Nick is click-clacking away on his phone, so I'm assuming lots of comments and stuff are coming in. But we are here tonight for a big unveiling. It's my first event with the new product, so I'm really excited. And we're going to take you for a tour around, and I know I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, one of my favorite independent retailers in the country. And if you go back and watch, you'll see me say that every time we're here. We are at Bjorn's. It is an institution. They've been here, I want to say, almost 45 years now, if not longer. And Bjorn is a personal friend, so I really love coming down here and hanging out with these guys. And it's an amazing store. And I'm going to step out of the way so you can kind of see what this place offers. But
it's a massive store, and it's sort of got this like central area where they have a bunch of TVs, and then there is just an assortment of different listening rooms all around. And before we start going into each one of them, I will say we have 2 giveaways, and we're going to do both giveaways at the very end of the evening. After our presentation, we're doing a pair of Prime Wireless Pro powered speakers, and then also an SB-2000 Pro with the SoundPath Subwoofer Cable. So stick around to the end. We'll be reading the names off live, and all you got to do is leave a comment to be eligible, and we'll pick 2 people at the end. So thank you for everyone for tuning in and being patient, and also sorry for the newsletter timing mix-up here. The central to East Coast thing, I guess, threw me off. But Larry, let's take a walk around here.
So when you walk into the store, it's all about an experience in your home. So what they have set up are various different types of things. Like you walk in, big screen with a sound bar experience, first thing. Then they have different studios, and we're going to go around this way, I think. So we're not going to necessarily go in order, but they showcase all kinds of high-end electronics from numerous brands. And in the Studio 3, this is focused on some of their higher-end televisions, and they do. They've got an SVS theater here, which we've dismantled to use in another room. But this is where the SVS Titan theater will be, along with some of their soundbar experiences. And what they want to show is that step up from a soundbar to a performance system. So in here, they'll have the Titan experience once we put it all back into place. And
I do have to say, if the video quality isn't the highest, it's because the Wi-Fi is not the strongest. So we're doing it in sort of low res. So apologies if it's not as crisp and you can't see how.
Are you at 480p?
How sharp Larry looks and how healthy he's looking. But I'll see if we can get it a little bit higher res here.
So. But this is Studio 3. Then we go over here. We can't get into the room right now because it's totally full. But I think we'll try. So this is their exceptional audio room. And this is where all the speakers are like $30,000 and $40,000 a pair. And they're running super high-end amps and stuff. I think we should go in here and maybe kick them all out. What do you think?
Yeah, in a few minutes. I think on our way back through here we can.
Well, you can see it's standing room only in there. We actually haven't even officially started yet.
So I did a little teaser. But this is where we're going to do our 2-channel Ultra Evolution Pinnacles here. So gratuitous rack shot.
We got Ted running demos in here. So I don't know if Nick is talking, but I'll talk while he's camming around. So in here we have the new Ultra Evolution Penta Towers running off of an NAD system, running the Blue Sound operating system. So Ken, our director of sales, will be in there showcasing that room whenever we get the event going. And so that's where they have the super high-end stuff. And then they work back here. And Bjorn's is very much known for integration, custom install, and a lot of just amazing work in your home to kind of bring your entire entertainment experience together. So back here, this is their consultation and design space. So they have a meeting room where you can sit down, go through your blueprints on your house, they'll walk through stuff, show it on screens, help you if you're setting up an office, they'll help you set that up too, with all their integration and stuff. And then back here, normally we're not playing this stuff, so it's kind of fun. People are really excited.
We got some of
So
Bjorn's
that's John
team members
back
here
there.
firing up some demos.
And these are the new Ultra Evolution bookshelf speakers being powered by the Soundbase Pro amplifier and the 3000 micro sub over there in the corner. And Nick will be hanging out doing 2-channel demos back here tonight once we really get going. And this whole room is automated, and so I'm talking to the camera over there. So, this whole room is automated with lights and Control 4. And then back here is the garage. And the garage is a really cool theater experience where they show what you can do by modifying essentially a garage in your house. It's about the size of a little bit larger than a single-car garage. And they've insulated it, and all the speakers and subwoofers are hidden behind the walls. Full projection system. I want to say it's a 16-channel surround with a full rack. And we know you guys love rack shots, so maybe Nick will do that.
Rack shot?
And then we'll show you something cool about how they do a false wall to hide that. I don't know if they really want us to do it, but it's locked.
Probably good. Hey, how you doing, everybody?
So, yeah, you can see the reflection. You guys can see Nick.
You can see I wore my fanciest gear.
How's it going?
So this is one of my. I just discovered this today. Larry
I showed this to Nick.
Bookcase, right? Just a normal bookcase.
So think of all the cool ways you can hide your wiring and stuff. So back behind here, they have this walk-in, and that's how they wire everything up for the room. And so the full rack is back there. The wiring's going up through the ceilings and through the floor, and the control system. Everything is in here, and it's been soundproof to not impact the garage. And it's just a door you can lock and keep people out, or I guess turn into a safe room during a tornado or something that we get here in Texas and hurricanes. So they can do all of that. They also do outdoor, and they can help you build the ultimate patio system too. They sell many brands to do outdoor and patio speakers, outdoor televisions that are waterproof and storm resistant and everything as well. And then you can see more of the televisions that they do. Let's go this way. Then we also have their multi-room audio stuff. And with multi-room, they have our Prime Wireless Pro products, Sonos, Hios, Blue Sound options to take care of any room you're trying to set up for multi-room solutions, sound bars and things as well. And there's Prime Wireless Pro down there.
So you can see they have the little sort of soundbar replacement station here with the pair of Prime Wireless Pro speakers, which we will be giving away this evening to one lucky commenter on the live stream. Just as a reminder, we'll be doing both giveaways at the end of the stream in about 40-45 minutes or so once we wrap up our presentation. So leave a comment to be eligible. We'll announce that towards the end.
All right, a few more minutes, yeah. So tons of custom furniture that they can build for you too. You can see they've got a lot of the pieces out here now. And then they're running something in here now, but we'll poke in here. Each room back here has a name like after a city. And this is a Santa Fe room. And in here, it's a full over-the-top, I want to say 1124. And they're using our in-wall subs in here.
Let's poke our head in. Oh boy. Yeah, we're not going to talk. We're just going to observe.
In about 5 minutes, we want to push everybody to LG.
Closest I'll ever get to being Internet 14.
So this is the only one in the United States. So where we're going to go into now is called the Ultimate Theater. And this theater was actually designed by the TH and THX himself, Tomlinson Holman. And he's a friend of Bjorn's, and they designed this theater. And it's got full D-Box, projection, Dolby Atmos, DTS, all that stuff. Ryan's in here running it now, full rack, everything hidden, sound control, remotes, everything, and then all the seats have D-Box as well.
Miracle number 2. Another in Coffin Corner.
Can't really get the full effect when it's so dark, but
it's such a cool room.
It's legit as close to a professional cinema, even better, I think, than that you will get. So obviously we're going to have to pull people out of there kicking and
I
screaming.
think somebody's pulling on the door to get out as I'm closing it. So was like, what is going on? They do short throws, small TVs, a little bit of everything, a clearance section. And they also do a lot of repairs in-house too, which is super awesome. There's not a lot of stores that do that. So on the other side of this wall, they've got a whole repair section, their warehouse and stuff too. And then all their offices are upstairs. So everything's here. And like I said, I love this store. So if you're in the South Texas region, this is really one of the best retailers you can come to get everything for your home audio or even networking computer stuff. Clearance area, I don't think we need to see.
You got the, what is this, 100 and some odd inch?
Yeah.
Playing SVS sizzle video?
Yeah. I don't remember how big it is, but it's a big old LG.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Bjorn.
That is actual Bjorn right there. We're not going to interrupt him,
he's
but
talking
he is about
French.
as legendary as you can get in this industry. And we're just super happy to be in
We'll go in a
partnership
minute.
with
Want to
them.
do the last two rooms and then hop in here.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So we got two more rooms to show, and then we're going to collect everybody in here. So. So they have two more studios, Studio 1, Studio 2. And these are more, some of their smaller setups where they can show you home theater. This is normally where all of our subwoofers are, but we've kind of scattered them around the store. Looks familiar? 3-4 minutes. This is where the speakers will be sitting.
The original Ultra
Yeah,
book?
they still have our Ultra books that they're clearing out in here in the room too. And in here, they've got a full selector. You can come up and choose speakers, listen to different receivers, and kind of get an idea how.
Yeah, and that's the real benefit
will
of coming to a retail location like this. You're able to A/B test between various front-end components with different speakers and really get a sense for, you know, the differences in fidelity between all the different components and ultimately make the best decision for yourself.
I'm going to tell Gary, like, 2-minute warning.
Yep. And not to shortchange the accessories, but they do a lot of cable business as well. So you can see they got the full selection of SVS SoundPath accessories, systems, and everything like that. So very well stocked as far as that goes.
I'm going to start collecting people. You want to show this last room, and I'll start telling all of them.
Yeah.
Push people this way.
So this
So
again
we're
is
gonna
just
start collecting
another
everybody in there.
speaker room. These are not quite as high end as the other room that we were in.
Yeah, I'm going to go in there and
They
tell
still
them
have
too.
a lot
We're
of
going to try to pull
models of
everybody into the
AV
LG
receivers,
experience space now. That's where we're going to kick off here in just a minute.
speakers. And you know, again, just a great opportunity for people to come in and A/B test and see the difference in tonal quality.
We're trying.
And really just
We're
provide
going to put everybody back into the LG experience room now and officially kick off here.
And that's really the benefit of this store, and they've been doing this for close to 40 iconic stores in our industry.
We're going to try to get everybody over to the LG experience so we can officially kick
Is
off.
a leader
We're
in
going to come
terms
back
of
and more
detailing,
listening
which is
after all
really
that
making
too.
the store experience that's second to none. And there's Gary now. So we're going to start gathering people over to the main
All right,
demo
we're going to be
area,
kicking
so we can
off
do
in the
our
LG
presentation.
room here in
So
about 2 minutes.
I'm going to take a
So
walk.
all
and see
these
if
will
we
be
can
back
corral
open
everyone. Looks
once
like
we get
got
going too.
empty room there.
We're about to kick off officially back in the LG room, and then we'll break off to do some other demos too. I'm right behind you. We're going in here now. We're broadcasting live on Facebook. I don't think anybody heard it.
Probably don't forget you're on camera.
Yeah, I know.
too.
So I was trying to cover up, so I was like, don't cuss. We're gonna bring everybody into the LG room now. Everybody wants to squeeze in. Everyone that's 6'5" or taller to the front.
Wow, I've never seen our sizzle video on 100 and some
We are
odd
going to
screen
collect
before.
in the LG room now, everybody. Let's see if I can even get in here. Hi, Nick.
Hey.
So, wow.
Yeah,
All right, I'm going to try to squeeze through here. Sorry. Excuse us. All right. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Sorry. Feel free to probably go like, yeah, right there.
We're going to probably run through that when we go through our presentation. We have our flagship PD6 Ultras.
Is that easier to hear? Doing a quick
our PB6. many, many others. And I absolutely have, whatever journey we've had at SVS, you're one of the people that I think about as we travel on this path. So I'm so thankful that we are in partnership together. And when I do come to this store, this is one of the stores where I feel like I'm going home. I feel just so welcomed and comfortable here. There's probably no more welcoming, but also professional retail environment on the planet than Bjorn's Audio Video. And I want to thank you so much for making us feel welcome here. Let's have some fun tonight. We'll talk a little more about what we're going to do in a bit. But first, let's give Bjorn and his team.
Gary and I hadn't seen each other. This goes way back when he was still in retail. And we're at CES, and those of you who remember, I had a partner named Bob White. Bob and I were walking down Las Vegas Boulevard to go to an appointment one morning, and these two guys walked by us. And all of a sudden I stopped. I turn around and I go, Gary? It was Gary and somebody else. Well, Gary used to be quite big.
I was heavier.
Yes.
Not that I'm skinny now.
No, he was quite a bit heavier. He had lost weight and he had kept it down all this time. He's a fanatic for working out. Anyway, thank you all for coming.
We actually would have our best talks about the industry, and I learned more from Bjorn on the elliptical next to his elliptical at the Paris and Vegas. Right?
Yes, but I was there for other reasons. Thank you all.
All right, thanks, Bjorn. Hello to the SVS virtual community. We're filmed, so if you're not supposed to be here, you may want to cover your face. Witness protection. Okay. First of all, I really want to welcome all of you. Thank you so much for coming this evening. This evening is about, I was talking to Bjorn's team. We know these folks, but it's been a couple of years since we've been here. I want to tell you all what this evening is about. For us, this evening is about sharing the joy of having great sound in your homes. It's not going to be an SVS infomercial, although maybe now and again an SVS product might work its way into the conversation. We're really more about the joyfulness of great sound in your home and how much it can add to your life. And so before I start pontificating about how you get there and what that means, maybe we start with something that replaces 1,000 of my words, a demo. Before I do that, I should probably introduce, behind the camera there, wearing the fashion of the day, SVS t-shirt, is our VP Marketing, Nick Brown. This is our Director of National Training.
I got a promotion.
Larry.
I don't have director on my title, but I'll take it.
I thought you were.
Hey,
Congratulations to Larry.
Yes, you guys got it on video.
I hope this doesn't involve a raisin.
Yeah, we'll talk about that. Yeah.
And Larry gave us a scare. Larry got sick when we all went to Germany for Munich High End, and I think this is your first public event.
Yeah, I've been out for 2 months
together. So
yeah.
Welcome back to Larry. Welcome back. Somewhere in the background, Ken Cadis. I'll come back and talk about the format of the meeting, but Larry, ready to do our demo?
Yeah.
We're going to kick off with a demo, and then we'll talk about the demo and the format of this evening.
I'm not worried about me. All right. Okay. All right. So we'll introduce the system, what you're going to hear in a minute, but we'll just kick things off with one of our favorite demos real quick. Free bird.
We will take requests later, so that can be on the agenda.
The film you're about to see has no characters. Spare a little of your imagination. Or better.
We knocked the lights out. Yeah.
Everything owes existence solely and completely to sound.
What do you guys think of that, huh? Isn't that cool? So we've been doing that demo for years, and it's still, after all this time, holds up. If you want to look up that artist, I just showed there. His name is Nigel Stanford, and he does some really cool art and music, and some really fun music videos too. Where do you want to go next?
What'd you think?
Great.
Awesome.
You know, well, I didn't make it. Those five guys that all look like each other, they made it. But, so, a great demo should be able to, and when I say a demo, I mean, I guess what I really mean is a great sound experience, whether it's multi-channel, which is what we just experienced, or two-channel. It should be able to, you know, at the end of a hard day, you go to a place in your home where you have this experience where you can literally surrender yourself to it, and we call it literally suspend your disbelief and let yourself feel like what's going on screen, or maybe it's a two-channel demo, is really happening. And if you can do that, if the system can actually reproduce the sound that was intended by the artist, the sound that was there to begin with before it got to your system, if it can do that, that's a really special thing. And if you had any piece of that experience just now in this hot room filled with a bunch of people you don't know, then imagine how special it would be at home with either by yourself or with your loved ones. We're going to talk about how
different people experience it in a bit. But first, are you guys hearing me? Do I need to switch to a microphone? Because I asked somebody in the back of the room just to make sure, and I was told my voice carries. Or so I'm told. So let's talk about this event. Again, it's a celebration of great sound. We're going to talk about great sound in what's called two-channel, which is 2 speakers, maybe a subwoofer, maybe not. We can talk about that. We're going to talk about multi-channel, which is usually referred to as home theater. And we're going to talk about what it means to be an audiophile. Nick, who's behind the camera here, he loves to explain that. He does a very good job of it, ridiculing my audiophile habits. I don't appreciate that too much. We're going to talk with all of you in this hot room for maybe another 30 minutes-ish with a couple. We're going to pepper that with a couple of demos. We're going to talk about great sound. And then we're going to break off into what we call experience zones. The experience zones are 2 different. Actually, it'll be 3 now. We'll keep this room going. Larry's going to do home theater demos. And then we have a high-end 2-channel system featuring our Ultra Evolution speakers. To the left, right? Yeah. So
straight across.
Literally
out
straight
of this
across
room
and to the left.
yeah.
We'll help you find it. And then we have kind of an affordable, fun 2.1 channel system where all you need is your phone and you can have, and not a giant amount of money, and you can have a really convincing 2-channel experience. So it's 3 experience zones. So I would say 7:15-ish, we'll break off and do that. And then at around 5 minutes before 8, on the dot, we're going to regroup, probably in a cooler part of this store at the front. And we're going to do a drawing for 3 different grand prizes. Is that true?
We have a 3000 micro subwoofer, which you'll get a chance to hear back in the small 2-channel area in the home. A pair of our Prime Wireless Pro powered bookshelf speakers is another giveaway. And then the grand prize tonight is the brand new Ultra Evolution bookshelf speakers with our SoundPath Pro amplifier and some speaker cable from the SoundPath line. Woo! So hook it all up. So I've got those, and then some other smaller giveaways too, and then some other tchotchkes and stuff for you all at the end of the night as well. And people
And
are
SVS
watching on
t-shirts.
Facebook.
I need all of you to take SVS t-shirts with you, but only under the agreement that you will wear it constantly.
Perfect.
Sorry?
I better get more than 1 t-shirt.
Yeah, you're right. It could give us a bad name if we never watch it. Sorry? What?
I'd like to bring one home for my wife if you got enough.
Oh, we do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. They're unisex. Okay. We're talking about first home theater, right? Larry, you want to help me help these folks understand what they just heard and why they had the experience they had based on the components that they had.
So in this room, we ran what's called a 5.2.2 Dolby Atmos home theater. And to make all those numbers make sense, we'll kind of go through it. So the first digit, the 5, is how many speakers we had on what's considered the bed layer or typically ear level. And in that case, what we're using is the left and right towers, which this is the brand new Ultra Evolution Titan towers, which are in the middle of the 3 towers we just launched.
We'll talk more about them in a little bit.
And the front left and right stage is really to give you kind of that, what's happening on screen along with the panning, left and right, stereo effects. It's where a lot of the information comes from. Then here on the TV stand is the Ultra Evolution center channel. And we all think it's the most important speaker in your system. And the reason for that, that's where all the dialogue that's happening on screen comes from. Whether you're watching the news, concert, movie, whispering, screaming, anything like that, that is going to be derived from the center channel. And you'll notice this one has a lot of drivers on it. That is considered a 3-way center channel. That's the only kind we make. So there's woofers, mids, and high frequencies with a tweeter. So you can take everything from like Darth Vader all the way to Mariah Carey and everything in between with ease. So that's going to be your front stage.
Let me just rip off that just a little bit. So we have the front, left, and right speakers. That should be familiar, right? That's a stereo system, right?
Yes.
They work together and they create a front, what's called a sound stage. But if you're off to the side, you probably wouldn't get what's supposed to sound like it's coming from the center because you're closer to this speaker if you're over here, you're closer to that speaker if you're over here. So then the ability to kind of create that believable soundstage needs something in the center, because home theater is an experience designed to be enjoyed by more than one person. We're going to talk a little bit about the traditional audiophile who's a lot of times alone in the room. But home theater is usually a family experience. So for you to be off to the side a little bit, or you to be off to the side, the center channel allows whatever is supposed to sound like it's coming from the center to sound like it's coming from the center, regardless of where you are in the room. And a little thing, he's going to do some more movie-ish demos in a minute. And when a character speaks in a movie, they're almost always on screen. You almost always see their face and their lips moving, and the center channel creates the effect that the sound is coming from those moving lips, and that makes the experience more convincing. Okay, Larry.
Yeah, and so that's the front three. Then the rest of the five are directly behind you. They're kind of on the sides of the room on stands. Those are the brand new Ultra Evolution Nano bookshelves, and we're using those for surround left and right speakers. What typically comes from the rear speakers, the surround speakers, are normally effects like maybe a jet and Top Gun flying from front to back, music, background effects, and in some cases quite a bit of content depending on what you're watching. And so that brings in the 5 channels up front. Then the next decimal point, the point 2, is how many subwoofers we are running in the system. And in this case, we're running 2 P16.
What again is the subwoofer?
The subwoofer brings in all the low end, the impact. It is what drive. You all felt it, right? So that is the bass. And so what a subwoofer in our case is really meant to do is to kind of bring in that low frequency, the impact, the guttural feel, like when you go to the IMAX theaters or a concert, when you get that punch in the chest. And so we want that, or we want it to be natural and nuanced. And we have a lot of ability to do that with all of our subwoofers. Most rooms will do 1 subwoofer. We choose to do 2 in most of our systems to kind of balance out the bass throughout the room. And so a lot of people will ask, how do I know what to do? We'll tell you to maybe do 2 smaller subwoofers in lieu of 1 larger, so that you have room bass that's balanced throughout your room.
So what you're saying is, it's not so much you want to spend double the money on subwoofers. And by the way, it's not just an SVS thing, it's an anything. Cut your budget in half and then multiply it times 2 so you hit your budget, but just get 2 smaller subwoofers rather than 1 larger one, and you will have, not because you need more horsepower to fill the room with bass or drive everybody crazy, but because by having 2, the response around the room is approximately
better for everybody. Yeah. And if anybody wants to geek out on that, whenever we do, I'll be hanging out here geeking out too. So we have 5.2.2. And that last decimal is new just in the last 8 or 9, 10 years. And that's for speakers that are up above you. So if you look up here, you'll see these 2 speakers here. These are called the Ultra Elevation speakers. And they're what's considered an object-based or height effects speaker. It's meant to be placed up above you to fill in that space that's missing from everything that's down here. So when you go to a movie theater now, like the Santikos that does Dolby Atmos, or an AMC Dolby Cinema, you'll see multiple channels up above. And every new movie from the last 10, 12 years is incorporating Dolby Atmos to create a full 360 bubble of audio above you. And the reason it's called object-based is because now we're able to put sound anywhere in the room that you would like to have it. And in some cases, make it sound like there's more in the space. So it's more realistic, it's more lifelike, and we're going to change up the 3rd demo based on something you said a second ago because of this.
Okay.
And we're going to show you what's really cool with Dolby Atmos to bring into the home. And so you can multiply those numbers and add more down low, more subs, more up above, just depending on your room.
And also, you can we do know, contrary to popular belief, we do know that many people actually have lives, and so they have to make it work within their lifestyle. Speakers can be smaller, they can be larger, subwoofers can be hidden. It's all very flexible according to lifestyle. And in fact, a lot of what's going contrary to 2-channel in home theater, the technology is designed to be forgiving of not exactly perfect placement, so that you can work with your lifestyle in your room to make it a great experience and yet not necessarily dominate the room visually. And I do want to talk about, he's going to do a demo. I don't even know what he's going to do, but I have a feeling, I have an inkling of what it's going to be. When you're experiencing this next demo, and then when we come back, we're going to talk about 2-channel stereo, more traditional stereo. This will be the final, well, not the final.
Well, this is like a concert.
Okay. I want you to think to yourselves about this statement. or maybe it'll be a question. What percentage of the emotional impact, the connection you feel to the experience you're having comes from the sound and not the picture?
70%.
I'm agreeing with that. I'm agreeing with that. Anyone else?
And I'm a musician too. So.
Well, I mean, you're slightly biased, but I still agree with you. I think that 3/4 of the emotional connection you feel. I'm not saying that a really high quality TV. Bjorn's going to kick me out if I say that you'll get a high quality TV. Absolutely, I love a great 4K or 8K TV. I think it's wonderful. But in terms of making that sense of connection to the experience, 3/4 of it comes from the sound. And maybe a very significant percentage of that will come from the bass, because bass is something that creates presence, impact, and our subwoofers, and any high quality subwoofer, creates bass that is beneath the threshold of audibility, meaning you can't even hear it. So why would you want it? Feel it. Exactly right. I don't know if this next demo is going to do that,
Not
but
a ton of bass in
the
this.
last demo will.
Yeah.
You will
So
feel something.
ask yourselves, enjoy the experience right now, but ask yourselves, how much of what I'm feeling comes from the sound?
And you will all recognize this next song, but part of the reason we choose this, it's Bradley Cooper and Lady Gaga doing Shallow from A Star Is Born. This is going to showcase the nuances and importance of having a great center channel speaker. Bradley Cooper is going to start off up front, main center. Lady Gaga comes out. She's going to be over on the left side, right, for you all. And then she will eventually take over the main microphone. And you will hear the entire dynamic of the system change. And they recorded this live in front of 20,000 people. So you're going to get that from behind you and above as well. So it's very different than what was played on the radio, if anybody knows what a radio is anymore, or what you stream. So let me unmute this. Let's do it.
Tell me something good. Are you happy in this modern world? Or do you need more? Is there something else you're searching for? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I fear myself. Tell me something, boy. Aren't you tired trying to fill that void? Or do you need more? Ain't it hard keeping it so hardcore? I'm falling. In all the good times I find myself longing for change. And in the bad times I feel myself. Crash through the SoundPath where they carried us. We're far from the shallow now. In the shallow, in the shallow, in the shallow, we're far from the shallow now.
demoing that one for a long time, and then some of the advancements we made in these new speakers, it really opened up her dialogue. Yeah, you kind of get the effect of the emotion of that scene. And I think it's a phenomenal mix too, and you really get, like when the guitars come in, there's a little bit of bass. It's kind of like a concert experience.
Did you feel the emotional impact? Did it come from the showroom? Bleeding the witness a little bit here.
It felt like on a Vegas experience.
It was a little bit, yeah. Maybe not the spear, but
Close.
a little bit. All right, so Nick, you want to help me? Let's talk about two-channel, and let's talk about Ultra Evolution.
Sure, absolutely.
So that means Larry has to. Yep. Here, we're showing Larry's best side right now. I think.
You want to take the camera?
All right. I'm not great on the camera, guys, so just give me a minute.
So, I mean, one of the things we like to talk about is sort of the definition of, the traditional definition of the term audiophile, because in my opinion, it's sort of been stigmatized over the years, for better or for worse. I got my own mic.
I was just giving it so people could
Why
hear
do I
you
have to
better.
hold mine in my hand?
Clip it on your jacket like a cool person.
I'm holding a lapel mic in my hand.
So, you know, we kind of like to do this little game where we ask a couple questions, and maybe we can get to this traditional definition of an audiophile, and then what I would like to see it sort of evolve to, since we are talking about the Ultra Evolution here. But let's go first. Is the traditional audiophile typically somebody who lives paycheck to paycheck, or do they have some expendable income to invest in their hobby? You have a little expendable income. Secondarily, are they young and spry and just sort of starting off in their love of music, or have they sort of been entrenched in their love of music and sort of really dialed into what they like to and sort of been around in a veteran sort of sense?
Are they old or young?
yeah.
I feel like I need to choose like this. Are they old or young?
Experience.
Yeah. And are they the type of person who wants everyone to come into the room and push all the buttons?
You forgot to ask the most important question.
All right, what's that?
Come on, the cliche. Are they? Wait, I got to say it the way you say it. Are they? Is there gender of the masculine persuasion, or is it of the feminine persuasion?
I think we probably don't need to answer. Yes, I think the room answers that. But I think the one that I really key in on is it a scenario where they want everyone to come into the room, push the buttons, turn the dials, put on their own music, mess around, and have it be a social engagement opportunity? I would say probably not.
So it's
Just to
it's an
recap.
older, rich male sitting alone
Where
between
are
the
they
speakers.
sitting?
Where are they sitting? Right where this
In the sweet spot.
young man is
That's
sitting.
right. That's right. Sitting in the sweet spot while everyone in the rest of the house is sort of,
Resenting
them very much so. Well, we basically defined Gary to just whatever his family needs for the house.
Actually, I took a break during the demo, and my phone rings, and it's my wife saying, "How do I reset this amplifier?" So there's no rule in my house about not touching it.
Well, what we would like to see the term audiophile mean is more about, the passion for the content, and it can really be anything. Like I see some younger folks here, I assume, are into gaming. I have a son who's big into gaming, and he will not game at his friend's house because we have the system here. I think with the gluttony of streaming television, all the great immersive sonic experiences you can get from Netflix and Apple TV and all those, I would like to include those people in the definition of audiophile.
Yeah.
I would also
Nick, this is the modern audiophile.
This is the modern
which I agree with
audiophile.
you.
I think it's more based on the content and your passion to want something better than what is coming out of the TV. Or, I'm sure soundbars have come a long way, but when you get a stereo system, you're getting imaging, you're getting some of those things that I think hi-fi enthusiasts have really gravitated towards in their appreciation of music, but it can be so much more than just music. And that's really what we're trying to showcase here by having home theater, having two hi-fi systems there in the two-channel world. And even when we do a lot of these shows where it is almost purely stereo, we bring a home theater system in.
You take requests.
That's right. We take requests. We don't have this curated list of this will make our speakers sound good. We want to make content or speakers that everything sounds good.
We go to these audio shows and we love going, and we I think we are embraced by the audiophile community, but we don't believe in excluding people from this, what we think is a really joyful, fun thing to experience. So for that reason, we don't make rules about what can play on our system and what can't play on our system. And Nick, this is something I like to feel that I'm very inclusive in the way that I approach the world, but I never took requests. We usually want to feel in control when you're doing a demo, but Nick just says, whatever your favorite thing is, we'll play it for you. We have streaming, so we can choose from millions and millions of songs. And it really does kind of broaden out what's possible in terms of enjoying great sound.
And we want to make speakers that, again, they're engaging all kind of content and they sound great no matter what your interests are. And this is really something that came out of me being at home and just using the discovery function on Qobuz and hearing all this different kind of music and having this.
Qobuz is high-res music streaming service.
And it's like these have like an addictive sound to them. You just want to keep hearing more and more different kinds of content. So that's sort of where we're trying to take the term audiophile, get it to be something that people can aspire to be and be proud of, and not have it have this sort of stigma attached to it. Although certainly the traditional definition, we are not putting that down by any means.
We love those guys.
Bring it out.
We love those guys.
Of course,
no problem. But I think what's fun for us is if you typically when you go to an SVS event, it's all ages, all genders, all ethnicities,
and you can have fun in the room. You're not walking in and feeling like you're at a wake or something. You can sometimes like, don't touch that, don't look at that. Like, no, we only play Beethoven, or we only play the Eagles, and it's like,
I'm not playing the Eagles.
Other than
we already did, so we.
I know. I told Jonathan, I was like, I don't play that.
I'll play the Eagles. No, it is funny in the trade. I was telling somebody before we started this. Sometimes you go into these rooms and there's two guys in the room. One's looking at their phone and the other one's looking at their phone. And I'm like, one of them's working here doing the demo and one of them's experiencing the demo, but neither one of them is even paying attention to it. And I'm like, well, that's not how we like to roll. Okay. How many of you are interested, curious, or here because you're interested in our Ultra Evolution speakers that we just launched a few months ago? So I promised this wouldn't be an SVS infomercial, but I did want to talk a little bit about them because you're going to be experiencing them all around this beautiful store. So we did, after a very arduous, almost 5-year journey of product development, launch our first completely new speaker series in several years in our new flagship series. We call them Ultra Evolution. Nick said maybe talk about why we came up with that word, and I think I will. If you follow SBS at all, you know we have our tag. What do we call it?
Tagline. Yeah, logo.
Tagline.
Yep.
Sound. Yeah, sound. That's right. Sound revolution. I need to read my shirt. Sound revolution with a slash between the R and the E, and what it means is, look, how long have people been enjoying speakers? Somebody came up to me and said he was listening to speakers since the 60s. Now, I'm not great at math, but I think the 60s were more than 50 years ago. So there's been a hi-fi hobby in speakers for a long, long time. So for sure, it's an evolutionary thing. We're always trying to make them better. And SVS, we put the R in front because we are a little bit disruptive, would you say? Is that fair to say? We want to bring reference experiences to people that normally wouldn't be exposed to them. We want to make them within reach financially. We want to make them inclusive of whatever kind of content, whatever way you like to enjoy music. That's our vision. That's what we want to do. Because this is a really fun hobby and it shouldn't exclude people. And you don't want to exclude people financially. You don't want to exclude people in terms of the content they enjoy. So, revolution and evolution. And we wanted to make sure people understood this is the culmination of a journey of learning about speaker design that has been going on now for us for quite a very, very long time. And we wanted people to sense it was completely new and different than anything we've ever done. And I'm going to very briefly talk about 3 technology stories so that you can pay attention to the demos around the experience zones and look for the experiences that I'm describing. Number 1, if you look at the front, what's called the baffle, the front of the speaker, it is curved outward at the top and outward at the bottom to the listener. So the tweeter looks like it's the furthest away from the listening position, but the reason for that is the emanation point of sound of each driver. If it's a cone driver, it's the furthest part away from you. If it's a dome driver like this tweeter, it's the closest part to you. So by curving the front baffle the way we do, it's a perfect vertical plane to the listening position. And for that reason, the sound from each driver arrives at the listener's ears at the exact, especially for you, because you're in the sweet spot. the sound of each driver comes to your ears at the same instant. And we call that acoustically centered time alignment because the tweeter is centered between these two mid-range drivers and these two woofers. So there's also a geographic point of center for the sound to come from. What does that mean? I know I'm talking a bunch of techno double talk, right? Why it's so great and what you're going to hear is this creates a very coherent, what we call sound stage. And a sound stage means even if you, I'm keeping you up. No, I know it's hot in here, right? Sound stage means that, and I want you to do this more in the 2-channel demos that you do out there. Sound stage means you can close your eyes and hear where everything is in an exact geographic place. And that's all part of making it more convincing, believable, hearing it the way the artist intended. That's what that's designed to do. Second thing I want to talk about is this is an all-new tweeter. It's an aluminum dome tweeter coated with diamonds and obviously industrial diamonds, not like engagement rings. But it's done with a process that would not have been possible anywhere near this price called vapor deposition even 10 years ago. And what that does is it raises what's called the breakup frequency of the tweeter. Breakup frequency means there's a point where it says these sounds are just too high in frequency for me. I'm going to start acting crazy. It takes it all the way to almost 40,000 hertz. Now, a human ear, when you're young, maybe can get to 20,000 hertz. There's no content in anything that goes to anywhere near 40,000 hertz. The benefit is you're going to hear effortless, clean, clear, detailed high frequencies, but they're also going to be refined, and it's not going to make you feel fatigued, or it's not going to sound overly bright. It's just going to give you all the detail that's there, but not with any sort of ear-splitting, fatiguing high frequencies. So that's what I want you to listen for. Last thing is we have dual opposing woofer arrays. There's two here, one in the front and one in the back. Two here, one in the front, one in the back. So literally 4 woofers in each speaker. So 8 woofers driving bass throughout your rooms in a pair of these speakers. Benefit is exactly what Larry talked about, the benefit of having dual subwoofers. By having all of these drivers emanating, instead of giant drivers, we have smaller drivers emanating bass from slightly different geographic points in the room. The bass response is smooth, authoritative, believable. Not overpowering, not boomy, not muddled, smooth, overpowering, believable. Those are the 3 main technologies. So there's more going on, but I think it's too hot in this room. And you're probably sick of hearing me talk. So we're going to wrap up this section of our presentation with Larry's final demo. And then I'll speak just a few more minutes and we'll break up into experience zones, and the rest of the store is cooler than this room.
All right, so we talked earlier about where dialogue was coming from with the center channel, and everything should sound like it's coming from up front. Well, this demo we're going to do for you now, I'm going to have dialogue coming from every point of the room. And we're going to do a scene from Spider-Man Far From Home. And this is a few years old, so spoiler alert, Mysterio's a bad guy. Sorry if you haven't seen it. But this scene is really awesome because his power is to manipulate what you see and hear. And there's only 5 speakers on the ground level and the 2 up above us, but it's going to sound like a lot more during this scene.
It is true, and that's very dangerous, and we need to be smart. Who else did you tell about this? Parker? Parker!
What's wrong? It's Beck. He's here.
What?
Bill?
No, he's just Yuri!
Wow, Peter. Wow. I thought we were close. Yuri always had to die, but not you.
Stop hiding, Beck!
I tried to help you walk away. Now you're making me do this. You told me you were just a kid. You told me you had to run after that girl.
That's it.
Peter,
Benji! I don't think you know what's going on here. You need to wait out. I mean, look at yourself. You are just a scared little kid in a sweatsuit. I created Mysterio to give the world someone to believe in. I control the truth. Mysterio is the truth. If you were good enough, maybe Tony would still be alive. You know I was. You made your choice. All you had to do was step aside.
So how cool is that, right? So it sounds like there's speakers all along the ceiling, and what's happening, there's a point where each speaker is meeting, whether it's the front left meeting with the rear right or the height effect speakers meeting, and it's creating that more realistic object-based audio. And that's something you can do really easy. Those speakers can go on the ceiling, they can go on the wall, and create that type of effect at home too.
All right. Well, first of all, I want to apologize for the heat in the room, and you guys have still been a great audience despite that. It's been really fun presenting to you. That concludes the more formal part of this presentation. Now we're going to break off into the experience zones, and we'll regroup to give away prizes and have a little more fun at approximately 5 minutes before 8. And Larry, you're going to stay here, right?
Yeah, I'm going to hang out in here.
For people who like a sauna in a retail store, this is
It'll cool off a little
You want
bit.
to stay here.
It'll cool off with few people.
And then we have two channel experience zones.
So
I'm going to go out there, and if you have questions about the presentation or anything about SVS or anything that I can answer, I'm there for you. Okay?
And I'll be back
Thanks
in the
for being
2-channel
a great
room in about
audience.
3 to 5
so
minutes.
The experience zone will, back on the opposite side of the store, you'll see the room that says Excellence. There's a banner in front of it that says 2-channel experience. Ken, our director of sales, will be in there showcasing the new Ultra Evolution Pinnacle Towers. And then back in the house, Nick will be back there in just a minute showcasing a 2.1 system with the Ultra Evolution bookshelves and the micro subwoofer. I'm going to hang out here and just get stupid with movie demos.
Somebody already asked for Ninja Turtles,
Yeah,
which is
so
sort of
we'll do that
Larry's
too.
little thing.
So,
So you can
So if
stick
you want to
around
hang
for
out
that.
and do movie demos, hang out. I'll do some concerts and stuff too. And we have to do some giveaways real
Yep, we
quick.
got
for
our
the-
virtual crowd. We have a couple giveaways here, so bear with us, and then we'll let the
And if you want to go get a drink
Go.
or something, please do. All right.
All right, Larry, you want to announce them?
Yeah,
Here
sure.
we go.
So
Well,
we got-
before we do that, quickly, housekeeping. We'll have another happy hour next Thursday. You can all tune in. We'll be at another iconic store, not as iconic as Bjorn's, but Gramophone in
Gramophone.
Columbia,
Yeah.
Maryland, which is a phenomenal store that we'll be at. So you can still RSVP to come to that event live or tune in virtually next Thursday. It'll be 6 p.m. Eastern. I am sure of that on our broadcast here. So RSVP if you can make it in person. Otherwise, tune in. Larry, what do we have for giveaways?
So we are first one to give away is a Prime Wireless Pro powered bookshelf speakers, and that is going to Chris Policastro. So congratulations to
Policastro.
Chris.
Nice job commenting. Chris.
Yes. And then we're giving away an SB-2000 Pro Subwoofer, with the SoundPath Subwoofer Cable, and that is going to Jason Rumoro. So congratulations to you as well.
All right, Chris and Jason, Vince will reach out, get your info. We are going to go, as Larry likes to say, get
Bye, guys.
stupid and have some fun. Tune in next week from Gramophone if you're able to. And we appreciate everyone who was able to stick with us through the technical difficulties. That always appreciate your time. We love you guys, and we will see you next week. Happy listening.